Hello, my name is Rachel, and today I'm bringing you some of my most anticipated releases of the day for October 9th, 2018. So let's jump right in. My first pick for the week is Bridge of Clay by Markus Zusak. I don't know much about this besides the fact that I believe it is a contemporary novel, and it's by Markus Zusak, who wrote The Book Thief, which is fantastic. If you haven't read The Book Thief, you must. And that's really the only reason I'm anticipating this. I'm just very, very interested to see what else he's going to come up with after writing The Book Thief, I guess. I'm excited. I've seen a lot of people with arcs of this that seem to enjoy it, so I'm super excited to eventually get to it myself and see what I think. Next up is Grenade by Alan Gratz. This is another one of his historical fiction based around war. I believe this one is World War II, and I think it takes place in Japan, and that's really all I know about it. I know that my students love these books. They really get into the war stories that he creates, and I am a big fan of Alan Gratz just in general, so I'm super excited for this one. We just sold several of these at our book fair that just closed, and I'm super excited to get a chance to read this and talk to the kids about it. Next up is a book by Ryan T. Higgins. He's a children's author that I just love. This one is One Grumpy Bruce, a counting board book. And if you have not read any of the Bruce books, they're hilarious. I think the first one I read was Mother Bruce, and he's this kind of grumpy little bear, and these little ducklings attach themselves to him. And it's just so adorable, and Ryan T. Higgins books are fantastic children's books, so if you're looking for a counting book, I would highly recommend this one. I can pretty much guarantee this will show up at least in some form at my elementary libraries at school. Next up is a YA contemporary by Nick Stone. Nick Stone brought us Dear Martin either last year or the year before, I can't remember now. All the books are starting to blur together. But she brought us Dear Martin, and this is her newest book, and one of the main taglines for this really drew me in. It says, "One story, three sides, no easy answers." So I'm very excited to see how this plays out and get some hype back from some people. I know a lot of people have this on their TBR, but I haven't heard a lot of talk about the book yet. I don't know if a lot of people didn't get arcs or if they're just kind of saving it. I'm not sure, but I'll be excited to hear what people think about this one. Next up is a children's middle grade novel, and it's called Wicked Nix by Lena Coakley. And I'm so excited by this book just by the cover. It is about like woodland fairies trying to protect their little woodland fairy area. And the cover, like I said, is really what drew me in. I'm excited for this one. This seems like a book my middle grade students would absolutely love. And I have been kind of obsessed with like woodland type creatures lately. I'm not sure if it's just fall or why, but immediately when I read this description, I decided this is what I want to read. So I'm pumped for this one. Next up is the fourth installment to the Cucumber Quest graphic novel series. This one is called The Flower Kingdom, and this is by Gigi DG. And I am definitely not caught up with the series, but I read the first one. Mostly just because it came in as an order that we had in our library from Junior Library Guild, and I thought it looked very strange, so I was like, I'm gonna read this and see what I think about this before we put it on the shelf, and it was adorable. All the books are kind of like a quest within a different kingdom in this magical world, and it's very cute. I have to say, it's kind of it has a lot of like girly colors, which I think attracts girls who may or may not read kind of more sci-fi style graphic novels. They tend to go for more like contemporary graphic novels, if that makes sense. So I'm excited that this might draw them into some of like the sci-fi realmy type of graphic novels, but it definitely works for boys as well. This particular one is pink though, so I can see how some lower grade, middle grade students might not be willing to carry around a pink book, but I think these are adorable. I definitely want to keep reading these, and I will definitely continue getting these for our middle grade students at my school libraries. The next one is one that I originally was going to pass on because I'm very tired of this title trope. This one's called The Clockmakers Daughter by Kate Morton, and I just feel like there's so many something's daughter, some profession's daughter, and I don't know, I just have no interest in it. But I started reading the synopsis for this and it really drew me in. So I haven't read like a ton of the synopsis because once I hit this part, I'm like, you know what, I don't want to spoil myself anymore. So I'm just gonna read you the part that I read, and this is straight off of Goodreads. It says, in the summer of 1862, a group of young artists led by the passionate and talented Edward Radcliffe descends upon the Birchwood Manor on the the banks of the Upper Thames. Their plan to spend a secluded summer month in a haze of inspiration and creativity. But by the time their stay is over, one woman has been shot dead while another has disappeared. A priceless heirloom is missing, and Edward Radcliffe's life is in ruins. So I stopped reading there because I'm like, this has got to be like historical fiction and some mystery, a little bit of murder going on. So I'm intrigued by this now. I haven't read any other thing in here because I don't want to spoil myself, but I'm willing to put aside the rather, generic title and go for this because it does sound pretty interesting. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, Kate Morton. Your title put me off, but I'm intrigued by your story. So that is definitely going to be on my radar. Last up is Elbow Grease. This is a picture book by John Cena and Howard McWilliam. And I, again, don't know too much about this, but obviously by the title, we're looking at some sort of a kind of a monster truck situation here. And just the fact that it's got John Cena's name on it, I know my kids, especially my boy readers, will love this in the elementary school. So this is one that I'm definitely going to be checking out because I know I can get people who might not normally read to read it just because it's by John Cena. And there you have it. Not a ton of new releases that I found very intriguing this week, but there you have all of my most anticipated releases for the week. Let me know down below if I missed one that you're excited for, or if you liked one of the ones that I've mentioned today. And that's all I have, so I will see you again in another video soon. Bye for now.